Hello student, welcome in today's online session on the topic of type of grinding machines. From Machine Science and Technology subject, I am Professor Fayaz Kawadi from Department of Mechanical Engineering. So let us start. Grinding machines are broadly classified on the basis of the machine, how the machine is grinding to the surface. Most of all the grinding machines are classified as per the given here. If the surface is cylindrical, workpiece is having cylindrical surface, at that time the machine is called as a cylindrical grinding machine. If that cylindrical grinding machine is grinding whether it is grinding internal surface or external surface, these grinding machines again classified as internal grinding machine. If the surface is flat surface, that is called as a surface grinding machine. And if the grinding machine is having the surface, the workpiece is having the surface which is very small, having in length, at that time the grinding machine is called as a centerless grinding machine. And for special purpose workpieces, the machine is classified as a special purpose grinding machine. Here in this image we can see cylindrical grinding machine. In this second image we can see internal grinding machine. In this image we can see as surface grinding machine, and in this image we can see the centerless grinding machine. So students, one by one we are going to start the descriptive part of the grinding machines. In this session we are going to discuss only the cylindrical grinding machine and the constructional feature of that grinding machine. So let us start. The first is a cylindrical grinding machine. That cylindrical grinding machine is used to produce external cylindrical surface. External cylindrical surface. So this external cylindrical surface may be a straight surface. Straight surface means throughout the length, the diameter is constant. The diameter is not varying according to the length, as per the length. So when throughout the length, the diameter of the workpiece is constant and that is not varying, that is a straight grinding. If the diameter of the workpiece is gradually decreasing or increasing, that is called as a taper grinding. And if sudden change in diameter, at that time that is called as a step grinding. So in this image we can see all three types. This is a straight grinding throughout the length here. This is a taper grinding as the diameter is goes on decreasing here, and in middle portion of this workpiece this is a step grinding. So according to as per this grinding machine, these grinding machines again further classified. So let us see what is the type of the grinding machine. So first type is a plain center type grinder, cylindrical grinder. Plain center type cylindrical grinder. Second is a universal cylindrical surface grinder. And third one is a centerless cylindrical surface grinder. So one by one, we are going to discuss these all grinding machine of subclassification of this cylindrical grinding machine, which is discussed right now. So first is a plain center type cylindrical grinder. Plain center type cylindrical grinder. Here we can see the image. It consists of two centers, that is one in the headstock and other in the tailstock, just like a lathe machine. And the workpiece is held between these two centers. In this image, we can see this is one center and this is another center. Okay, B, work table rotation is given here, B. Okay, this is a rotation clockwise or anti-clockwise, we can see B rotation. So this is considered as a tailstock and this is considered as a headstock. So in between these two center, workpiece is mounted on the mandrel. So this is the workpiece. Here you can see that workpiece. Okay. So in like a lathe machine, the headstock is here and tailstock is here. In between that, you will hold the workpiece. Okay. While operation, the rotating workpiece is travels across the face width of the grinding wheel. While operation, the rotating workpiece This is the workpiece and this is rotating. This B rotation is given anti-clockwise direction. If you see from this direction, okay, anti-clockwise direction. So the rotation of the workpiece is travels across the face width of the grinding wheel. This is the face width. This is grinding wheel. A rotation of the grinding wheel is shown in anti-clockwise direction by alphabet A here. A is the rotation of grinding wheel. Okay, if you see from the right side of this machine, the workpiece and the grinding wheel is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Both is rotating in same direction. Okay, and this is the width of the workpiece. Okay, width of the grinding wheel, so that transverse motion, the rotating workpiece, it transfers across the face width of the grinding wheel. This is the face width of the grinding wheel. So this transverse motion is shown here by C. Okay, C, and C is a reciprocation of table. That means table is reciprocating. Table is reciprocating to do the complete length of the workpiece. Complete length of the workpiece. That means grinding wheel is only rotating, but the workpiece is rotating also, a rotation motion also, and the transverse motion also along with this table. Workpiece is rotating only. It is not having reciprocating motion, but as it is mounted on table, and table is having reciprocating motion. Okay, table is reciprocating. So the throughout length of the workpiece, if you want to grind, at that time table is moving. Okay, and if the face width of the workpiece is less than the width of the grinding wheel, at that time there is no requirement of a reciprocating motion of the table. Okay, because the width of the workpiece is less as compared to, so in single sitting you can grind that external cylindrical surface. Okay, the amount of feed of table, the amount of feed of workpiece is equal to the depth of cut. The amount of feed. What is feed? Feed is the travel of the grinding wheel towards the workpiece. Okay, the approach of the grinding wheel towards the workpiece is called as a feed, or it is called as an infeed. That is shown here by this arrow. Okay, and this infeed or feed is shown by alphabet D. That means D is the fourth motion of the grinding head in this machine. Okay, so this motion, if that grinding wheel is moved towards the workpiece for grinding, for touching the workpiece, how much depth it is moving into the workpiece, that depth is called as a infeed, and that is the linear motion of this head. What is that head? The head is nothing but in which the spindle and drive mechanism is mounted, and on the spindle the grinding wheel is mounted, and as the spindle will rotate, grinding wheel will rotate with same RPM. Okay, so that component of the machine, that part of that machine is called as a head. Okay, grinding head. So the head is moving towards the workpiece for touching the workpiece and for grinding the workpiece. So how much distance it is moving towards the workpiece, that is called as a feed or infeed. So there are four motion. Okay, the table is a reciprocating motion, and on the table the workpiece is mounted. So workpiece is having a rotary motion, as well as it is mounted on table, so it is a reciprocating motion for grinding the length of the workpiece. Throughout the length of the workpiece you have to grind. At that time C motion is given to the table. That means with respect to table, workpiece is not reciprocating. Okay, workpiece is not rotary, workpiece is only a rotary motion. Table is having a reciprocating motion, that is C. Okay, and the grinding wheel is having a rotary motion, as well as same as linear motion or infeed motion. Okay, travel of grinding wheel or travel of the grinding head towards the workpiece for carry out grinding process, that is called as a infeed. That is, so the grinding wheel is again a two motion. Okay, the tailstock and headstock both can move along the table as per the workpiece requirement. The tailstock and headstock, this is tailstock and this is headstock, both can move along the table. So this and this part is having the same motion as that of a reciprocating motion, because these two component and this workpiece is mounted on the table. So table is have a reciprocating motion. That means the same motion is that tailstock in headstock and workpiece is having the same motion. But with respect to table, the headstock and tailstock is not moving, is not a reciprocating motion. Okay, the table is made up of two parts, that is upper and lower table. This table this table is having two parts, that is a upper table and lower table. The upper table consists of tailstock, headstock and workpiece. The upper table consists of tailstock, headstock and the workpiece. This upper table is consist of this tailstock, this headstock and workpiece. Okay, so this is all about plain center type grinding machine. So come to the next point. The upper table can swivel. This upper table can be swiveled. That means this table is also a rotary motion on the vertical axis. That is called as a swiveling motion in of the table. The upper table can be swiveled in the horizontal plane up to 10 degree on either side. That means total 20 degree rotational motion is having the table. Okay, along the circular ways provided on the lower table. That means on the lower table, the ways are provided, guide ways are provided. Okay, and in that guide ways, this table is swiveling. Okay, this provide adjustment for grinding straight or taper work as desired. Okay, if you want to do the taper grinding on this workpiece, so that table is required to rotate. At that time, this arrangement is given. The lower table mounted on over horizontal guideways for providing longitudinal transfers to the upper table and workpiece. The lower table mounted over horizontal guideways for providing longitudinal traverse to the upper table and workpiece. The table movement controlled by hand or power, okay, or by electric motor. So this is all about plain center type cylindrical grinder. Again, this plain center type cylindrical grinder is classified into two parts. Okay, this in A figure you can see the workpiece having more length as compared to B. The workpiece is less length. That means the length of the workpiece is less in figure B as compared to the workpiece you can see in image A. Okay, when the length of the workpiece is more and the width of the grinding wheel is less, so C motion is given to the table. C motion, okay, a reciprocating motion. Okay, so the grinding wheel is a rotary motion, this infeed motion, and the table is giving C motion, that is a reciprocating motion as well as rotary motion. Okay, so when the workpiece is reciprocating in the direction of C, that grinding is called as a traverse grinding. And if the grinding wheel is having less length as compared to the workpiece, so at that time the grinding wheel is having only a rotary motion and infeed motion. At that time, if the length of the workpiece is less, the workpiece is having only a rotary motion, not C motion. That is not a reciprocating motion. So that type of grinding is called as a plunge grinding. Okay, plunge grinding. So these two grinding is classified on the basis of only the length of the workpiece. Okay, workpiece. If length of the workpiece, that means you have to travel the grinding wheel throughout the length, so that is called as a traverse grinding. and in one setting you are grinding the length of the workpiece. Okay, that means there is no C motion in case of plunge grinding. So in one setting you can grind the complete workpiece, that is called as a plunge grinding. Okay, so we have to solve the numericals on plunge grinding only. Okay. Plunge grinding, or if you have to travel this distance, so this will consider as a total travel of the table. Okay, in future we will solve the numericals on traverse grinding and plunge grinding. So come to the next type of machine is a universal center type grinder. Universal center type grinder. The headstock spindle may be used dead or live. The headstock spindle may be used dead or live. Dead means it is not rotating, and alive means it is rotating. Okay, alive. So that the work can be held and revolved by chuck as well as ground between centers. Okay, the headstock spindle may be used dead or alive so that the workpiece can held and revolve by chuck. That means if chuck will rotate, the workpiece will also rotate as well as ground between the centers. The headstock can be swelled at any angle in a horizontal plane. In previous machine, the headstock is only rotating 10 degree on either side. But in headstock, here in this machine is rotate any degree, any angle in a horizontal plane. That C motion is a swiveling headstock. That is a C motion. Okay. And so it will rotate in any direction. The wheel head, this is wheel head. Okay, this is grinding wheel, and on which that wheel is mounted on the spindle. That component is called as a wheel head, and slide can be swiveled and travels at any angle. So these can also rotate in any angle. That means workpiece will also rotate in any angle, and the grinding wheel, that means grinding wheel head, will also in any angle. The wheel head can also be arranged for internal grinding by addition an auxiliary wheel head. That means this grinding wheel, if you want to grind the internal grinding in any angle, at that time you will replace that existing head with help of auxiliary wheel head to revolve small wheels at high speed. The universal grinders are widely used in tool room for grinding tools. Okay, the sharp end of the drill, if you want to grind, at that time this universal center type grinding machine is used. Now come to the next type, which is more important, and in examination it is always asked that it describes centerless grinding process or machines. Describe centerless grinding process or describe centerless grinders. Okay, in which the workpiece is not held any headstock or tailstock or live or dead center. Okay, it is hanging in space. The workpiece is no support, it is hanging in space. So, and when that centerless grinding is required, when the length of workpiece is very small. For example, pin which is used, dowel pin, which is used in jig and fixture. The length of pin is very small, and this can't held in headstock or tailstock or live or dead center. At this time, centerless grinding machines or centerless grinding process is used for grinding these small pins. Okay, external cylindrical and tapered workpiece that cannot hold and rotate on centers. At that time, the centerless grinding process is carried out. Both wheels are rotated in the same direction. This is the grinding wheel. Okay, and extra wheel is used. Extra wheel is used for holding that workpiece. That wheel is called as a feed wheel or a regulating wheel. Generally, that figure you have to draw in the examination. Okay, this grinding wheel, and this is called as a feed wheel or regulating wheel. Okay, and the distance, center to center distance between this grinding wheel and the regulating wheel is placed in such a way, is kept in such a way that the diameter of the workpiece should be more as the gap between two wheels, grinding wheel and a regulating wheel. Okay, whatever the diameter of the workpiece, if the diameter of workpiece is 25 mm, so this gap between grinding wheel in and regulating wheel should be less than that of workpiece. The distance between two wheels should be less than that of grinding wheel. Okay, so that the axis of the workpiece should be at higher side, at higher level than that of center of grinding wheel and regulating wheel. Okay, that's why that grinding wheel, the axis of the grinding wheel is at high level than the axis of that both the wheels. You can see in that image. Okay, both the grinding wheels are rotated in same direction. The grinding wheel and the regulating wheel is rotated in this image in clockwise direction. When this will rotate in clockwise direction, the workpiece will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. And the work rest is located between the wheels. The workpiece should not fall down during the grinding process. For that purpose, the work rest blade is used to support that workpiece during the grinding process. Okay, this is the work blade rest which is provided in this process. The work is placed on the work rest. The workpiece is placed on this work rest. Okay, together with the regulating wheel. That means workpiece is having support. The workpiece is in contact with the grinding wheel, regulating wheel. At the same time, it is it is come in contact with the work rest blade. Okay, and this is fed forward, forcing the work against the grinding wheel. The regulating wheel in the actual process, this regulating wheel apply the force on the workpiece, and the grinding wheel is start rotating due to the friction between the grinding wheel and the workpiece. Okay, the grinding wheel is having cutting points. Okay, so when that grinding wheel, these are here shown cutting points, dot marks. Okay, so when these cutting edges come in contact with the workpiece, it will start removing the material from the outer surface of the workpiece when the regulating wheel apply the force on the workpiece. Okay, it apply the force on the workpiece against the grinding wheel. If you want to do the length grinding on throughout the length of the workpiece, okay, the width of the workpiece, width of the grinding wheel is less, and the workpiece length is more as compared to grinding width of the grinding wheel. Okay, so you want to do the grinding throughout the length of the workpiece. What you have to do? There is no external agent which is used to travel the workpiece from right to left or left to right. For that purpose, the actual movement of the work past the grinding wheel is obtained by tilting the regulating wheel. Concentrate on that. Tilting the regulating wheel at the slight angle from horizontal. If that regulating wheel, if you tilt here, you can see the inclination angle theta. Inclination angle. This is the previous position of the regulating wheel, and if you tilt that regulating wheel through angle theta, that inclination angle, so that the workpiece will start moving towards left. And if that theta angle towards the right, if you rotate the regulating wheel towards the right, at that time workpiece will move towards the right. Okay, this transverse motion or reciprocating motion of the workpiece you will obtain by tilting that regulating wheel through angle theta and through angle minus theta. Theta minus theta. At that time, you will get the reciprocating motion towards left to right, right to left. That workpiece will start rotating, and transverse motion you will obtain by tilting that inclination. So let us see the advantages and disadvantages of this process. Less material is removed. By this process, centerless grinding process, less metal is removed. Secondly, workpiece can be ground easily. The third is a no holding device are required. The workpiece is not hold any chuck or live or dead center. That's why written here no holding device are required in this process. Next one and last is a low order of skill. That means less skill operator are required for this process. So a low order of skill is needed in the operation of the machine. And the disadvantage is that work having multiple diameters cannot ground with this process. Work having multiple diameters. If the diameter of the workpiece, step diameter is having the workpiece, at that time this centerless grinding is useless. You can't use this centerless grinding process. Okay, so student, at the end of this session you can understand I think different grinding machines and their constructional details. So thank you for watching this video.